is going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Sharp, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
Chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
I'm definitely up for fighting. There's a lot of names in the division, for sure. But at the same time, look at what this creates as well. I'm a fighter, and I understand that economics of business as well. And this does good business.
Are you really going to do this? Absolutely. Are we going to do this? For a record payday? To go in and spark Jake Paul before we start the serious stuff in 2026? Don't tell me what we should and what we shouldn't be doing.
Anthony Joshua has delivered a stark warning to Jake Paul, and this goes beyond simple hype. While Paul views the matchup as a career-defining payday, Joshua's team is stressing just how dangerous this pairing really is. AJ's promoter Eddie Hearn has openly cautioned Paul about the risks, making it clear that one clean punch from Joshua could have severe consequences. Former pro Moses Adama echoed that concern, warning that stepping into the ring with a heavyweight like Joshua could lead to serious physical harm.
And Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, man.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing, doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz.
No, man, there's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price on it in order to make.
Jake Paul getting into the ring with Anthony Joshua isn't just a bold gamble, it's a serious threat to his well-being in the eyes of many insiders. Veteran voices in boxing, including Ariel Helwani, have raised alarms about Joshua's sheer power and elite experience, suggesting Paul could be exposed to real punishment. Brutal knockouts aren't just hypothetical here, they're a very real possibility.
Has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. He might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke shop in clown world. When I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury for crying out loud. He can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, nothing's going to no doubt's going to disappear.
Rising heavyweight Moses went as far as advising Paul to prioritize his health over the money, warning that a single mistimed exchange could have lasting effects. Former world champion Amir Khan was even more direct, saying Joshua could badly injure Paul. In his words, the risk of brain damage is something that can't be ignored.
Joshua sparked him out in like 2 rounds. Really? Why do you look surprised? But
I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, but you're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's going to get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
Well, when you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat stars there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou, so...
And that's why you don't look, you can't be surprised if AJ's going to do the same to what's it called again? What?
For Anthony Joshua, this bout isn't purely about cashing a check. There's real pressure on him to win convincingly to protect his legacy. Analysts like Johnny Nelson believe AJ is stuck in a lose-lose scenario. If he fails to dominate or lets the fight drag on with Jake Paul, critics may say he's acting more like a businessman chasing money than a truly elite heavyweight.
I do believe it because AJ is involved, and I think AJ would struggle to he's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an Owen situation. If he goes in there and Jake Paul lasts the distance, what to tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what to say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul saying, "Oh, I've got rid of this kid." I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got us to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football, golf.
Nelson also shared a blunt assessment of Jake Paul's place in boxing. He praised Paul as a marketing genius who has mastered self-promotion, but stopped short of calling him world-class. In Nelson's view, Paul is a solid domestic-level fighter earning championship-level pay without taking the traditional path. He didn't grow up grinding in gyms or climbing the ranks. He built fame online first. While Paul has undeniably monetized boxing, Nelson remains skeptical of his legitimacy at the elite level.
Daniel Dubois is going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I give too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea, and he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risks along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that we got to give him credit that he's respected the sport.
Former champion Carl Froch agrees with that skepticism, arguing that fighting Jake Paul could actually hurt Joshua's standing in boxing history. Froch suggested it moves AJ further away from Hall of Fame greatness. At the same time, Joshua has stressed that long-term health matters most to him, stating that his true legacy would be walking away from the sport healthy.
Bunsen burner's lit, like I've said. He's cashing out. And fair play to him, cashing out. But to what detriment to his legacy? A lot, really. Because it's going to be his last fight, fighting this clown show. I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It's no ideal way to go out, but people will argue, well, he's just taking the money and running. So you can't really argue with that. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. I had to get my opinion out there because I know you've all been waiting for it. It's a shame, really. I'd like to see Anthony Joshua, actually, even though I don't believe he can do it. But when Eddie Hearn tells us that AJ is going to become a three-time world champ, it'd be nice to see the rebuilding process and get back behind him. 1 or 2 easy fights and then go for a world title. And this could be one of the 2 easy fights. But I just think if you're going to jump in with fake Paul at this level, which is like I say, arguably a massive mismatch, there's no way to step towards or climb a ladder to get towards that world title. So this, for me, tells me that Anthony Joshua knows he's finished at any sort of elite level or world level. He won't be trying to go down a world title level anymore. This is just a cash out, so good luck to him. Fair play to him, but hopefully when he's finished this fight, he'll be honest with us and say, listen, I've milked it, I've creamed it, I've had an unbelievable touch at the end of my career. I mean, he's already had an outrageous touch, hasn't he, with the involvement of Saudi Arabia, and now he's just creaming it at the end. He's got fake Paul, which is massive. Great for AJ, fair play to him. Anybody would do the same at the end of the career he's had. You know, he's not an elite heavyweight, is he? He's never going to come back and become...
Jake Paul, however, is confident he can defeat Anthony Joshua. He claims Joshua has shown clear weaknesses in recent fights. On his podcast, Paul Paul openly criticized AJ, saying he lacks a chin, has limited skill, and looks stiff in the ring. He believes Joshua's knockout loss to Daniel Dubois revealed declining durability, making this the ideal time to face him. Paul argues his awkward style, confidence, and momentum give him a real chance in what many see as an extremely dangerous fight.
Why is Jake Paul doing this? Well, I think it's because he genuinely believes there is a chance he can win this. I think he's calculated everything about Anthony Joshua's circumstances and he's gone, yeah, I actually think I can do this. I can leapfrog so many years of having to build and go through the ranks and do all that stuff by beating a shot-worn Anthony Joshua. And what are the factors in Jake Paul believing this? Well, it would be firstly that AJ received a loss in his most recent fight. Anthony Joshua's not been in the ring since September 2024, so over a year by the time him and Jake Paul get in the ring together. It will have been around 15 months. It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and struggle through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go, he landed a massive right hand on Joshua's chin, why can't I do the same? I believe myself to be a very big puncher. And it's that old saying, isn't it? You know, you shoot for the stars, you might at least land on the moon. And I think that's kind of why Jake Paul's maybe got to where he is in life, because he does have too much self-confidence. He does believe in himself. Well,
Paul insists this is the fight that will silence his critics, the ones who say he only targets smaller or washed-up opponents. By stepping in with Anthony Joshua, a true heavyweight and former world champion, Paul says he's finally proving he belongs at the top level. According to him, a win over AJ would erase all doubt. In his words, after that, no one can deny him.
They said, fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed...
Teddy Atlas offered a cautiously curious take on the matchup. While he warned the fight may be a step too far for Paul due to the massive gap in experience and skill, he didn't dismiss it outright. Atlas pointed to Joshua's recent knockout loss and long layoff, suggesting unresolved issues could leave him vulnerable. Even so, he acknowledged AJ remains the superior puncher and fighter, but said he's intrigued to see which version of Joshua shows up.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in the attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of it. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and in some ways...
Atlas also made it clear he doesn't see Jake Paul ever becoming a true elite boxer, despite respecting his work ethic and business savvy. He described Paul as a project still under construction. While he credits Paul for taking training seriously and not mocking the sport, Atlas doubts he'll reach world-class status. In his view, Paul has carved out a smart niche as a promoter, but elite boxing is a different level, and not one he believes Paul can simply conquer.
That does it for this week's recaps and previews. I want to throw one more thing at you, and that's the news. It's been out there for about a month or so, and it's picking up more steam. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Now, Eddie Hearn came out this week most recently and said, I never thought I would say this, but right now the front runner for this fight is Jake Paul. for Anthony Joshua's ring return. Joshua coming up almost on a year in September since his KO loss to Daniel Dubois. He's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea, and he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just, you know, just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has he is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out there.
Commentator Ade Oladipo didn't hold back. If this fight happens, he believes Joshua ends it quickly. In a recent interview, Oladipo argued that Paul's confidence doesn't align with the danger of facing a former heavyweight champion. He even suggested AJ could knock Paul out within the first 30 seconds. While he credits Paul for the courage to challenge a much larger opponent, Oladipo firmly backs Joshua's power and experience to overwhelm him. Adding to the intrigue, Jake Paul has claimed the fight could generate around $267 million. Estimates suggest both fighters could earn roughly $92 million each, but Paul's comments hint that total revenue, including streaming, pay-per-view, and sponsorships, could be far higher. If accurate, it would rank among the richest bouts in boxing history.
AJ versus Jake Paul. Jab.
AJ.
Defense.
AJ.
Chin.
AJ.
Footwork.
AJ.
Boxing IQ.
AJ.
Personality.
A lopsided loss to Anthony Joshua could seriously damage Jake Paul's star power. Right now, Paul is one of the few crossover fighters who can reliably sell pay-per-views thanks to his massive online following. But getting crushed by a legitimate heavyweight would give critics exactly what they want. They'd say he lacks durability, isn't elite, and can't compete with real pros. Even his celebrity appeal could fade, and casual fans might stop watching. Eddie Hearn himself has warned that a bad loss here could effectively end Paul's boxing brand. Ultimately, this proposed showdown is much more than a spectacle. It's a high-stakes gamble on every level. Paul sees it as the fight that could finally legitimize him in real boxing. Many others believe he's risking serious harm against a fighter of Joshua's caliber. For Joshua, the motivation appears largely financial, with the potential for his biggest payday ever, but any slip-up could hurt his legacy. While the bout promises massive money and attention, many in boxing see it as a dangerous clash driven more by profit than sporting merit.
Take Jake Paul that serious. He can't really box. You can have a little fight, you can have a swing. Swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he's just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size. It was a professional. It's a mismatch, and you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him. He's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. We were saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds.
What do you think? Is Jake Paul playing with fire by stepping in the ring with Anthony Joshua?